No, you can't control me, baby. You need a real one in your life. Them bitches ain't gon' give it to you, right? I'd rather be your B-I-T-C-H.
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. I'm Zaria.
And I'm Maika.
And this is Calmingthechaos and
Justy Podcast.
Collaboration.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Let's get into it. Do you want to introduce your guest to us now?
Yes, this is my fiance, the icon, the legend, the moment, Mr. Elijah Royale.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
He can be.
He knows more about Kanye than I do.
I was gonna say you could scoot him in a little bit more.
I told him to scoot in, but I'll scoot in.
I'm super tall, so like he's sitting crisscross applesauce, and
I'm so sorry.
No, you can continue to do so, but if I can't. I'm 6'3". I can't bend my legs like that.
He said, "I don't bend that way."
However, I do. So we good.
Oh, I know you do. But this ain't that.
Okay.
But,
not this collaboration being after dark.
The clock has not struck 9.
Based on what time it is after
right.
dark.
It's not 9 o'clock.
Okay. And some places.
All right, so we're gonna get into it. Our mystery man is Kanye. We kind of spoke about him in Zaria and I in our podcast when we first talked about mental health in men. But we're gonna bring him up because he's been a little erratic, or has he?
I was gonna say, has he?
Yeah, so we're gonna get a little bit into that right now.
All right, so what do you think about him, Justice? Do you think he is psychotic or just woke?
Or both?
My feelings on Kanye, genuinely, in general, I'm going to break it down. For my personal feelings, when I first hear the word Kanye West, I think icon, legend, woke, sometimes crazy. You?
Crazy is not always a bad thing. When I think of Kanye West, I think of great lyricists. I think of amazing music. I think of music that has brought in people of all different backgrounds together. Mm-hmm. I think he knows a certain amount of things that we don't personally know, like maybe like the industry wise, like he knows a different format of things that we don't receive as like regular people. Mm-hmm. I feel that like they're saying that he's like crazy and like the media and stuff to like, you know, smudge his name, but I feel like there's a lot behind why he says what he says.
I think this is all just a social experiment conjured by him though. Like nobody else is in on it.
Right, he's on a different wavelength.
His own social experiment to see how the world will react to how woke he really is. And obviously it's not going that great, which means the world is not really open to being
We're not ready.
We're not ready.
So this is my next question, because everybody has to say stuff about like the Illuminati and all this other shit. But like, why hasn't he been killed or targeted? Because he says a lot of out-of-pocket shit, even though it may be right, but the truth gets people killed in that industry.
He's not worth more dead than alive. He's not worth more dead than alive yet. How are you gonna smear his name and then kill him and then make money off him? It don't make sense.
I mean, yeah.
So when I think of Kanye, like I think of, well, I honestly think of Kim Kardashian first, because I didn't really, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, not you thinking of Kim Kardashian first.
Oh, no, I got something to say there.
I don't really know much about Kanye. I didn't really get into that until I heard about him and Kim. It just brought a lot of awareness to who he is. And because they were so famous, and I already know, like, forever with Kanye, Lil Wayne, Eminem, like, that's my shit. But it's like I never looked up Kanye's songs and listened to them until I watched Keeping Up with the Kardashians. He like I was watching it and I was like, I remember that song. But I never sat down to actually listen to it until I saw it on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. So that's why I think of Kim first, because it's like a lot of the things that I didn't realize when I was a kid listening to him, I realized as an adult watching that show. So that's why I think of Kim first, not because of anything else, but
Okay, not
because
status.
of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, do you think he is the way he is now because of the Kardashian curse? Or is he woke then? Like, yes, we all know that he is woke, but like he never went this far off the rails until him and Kim got divorced.
I think the divorce was a trigger.
Go ahead.
I think he was always woke, but the divorce was a trigger for him. That's what I think. Go ahead.
Okay.
I 100% agree with that. I agree that the divorce was a trigger. However, I mean, Kanye has always been outspoken. When they had the hurricanes in the Carolinas, he literally went on national television and said that, who was the president at that time?
Obama?
No, it wasn't Obama. It
Clinton?
was
Bush.
Bush.
I'm so sorry.
Bush doesn't like black people. And
he don't give a fuck about black people.
And so,
I remember that. I just saw that the other day. I'm not even gonna lie.
And was he wrong?
So, like, I feel like he was always, like, outspoken and he always said what he wanted to say. There's also a thing that comes with, like, you know, age. For certain people, like when you get older, you're able to say more of what your opinions are.
I was like, he's in his 40s. He's not 82.
No, he's not. No, but like age. I mean, there's some things like I know all of us can agree at 16, we wouldn't say now in our age now.
No, I know.
And
I know.
Society wouldn't believe it, really. They're like, oh, they're just a kid. Their brain's not fully developed yet. You know,
right.
Like that would be their first thing they go of if you try to say some woke shit at like 15. Like, what the fuck you know about the world? You know,
also,
like you don't even know yet.
Side note, it literally on my notes too, it says that men don't fully develop, like their brains don't fully develop until they're 43.
Oh, 43. I always heard 25.
They start fully developing at age 25 in areas that women already are developed in.
Yes. But then when they fully come like full circle, it's not until 43.
Hashtag midlife crisis.
Well, I mean, in my mind, I would say, of course, because I mean, if a woman is to bear a child by the time she has like her menstruation, of course you need to be more developed than
I know, of course you need to be, but now we have kids having kids, but that's another topic.
Well, yeah, that's another topic, but I'm saying that women should be more developed.
I know the emphasis on should. You're right. I agree with you.
Okay, I'm just saying, are we on the same page?
You're getting on the wavelength of when people should be having children, which is for another whole nother topic of kids having kids, which is why these kids are turning into air mattress trash bags.
Plug, he wants another video.
Part 3? No, I'm joking.
However, West very much he hasn't low-key, even when he said that Beyonce should have won the award, where was the lie? There's no lies spoken. It's about timing, it's about delivery, and it's about back information to back your forward and present statements, Kanye.
And he also shouldn't have went up there and snatched the mic out of her hand, drunk as fuck.
I would have too. She had no business winning that award.
I was gonna say, I mean, at the end of the day,
Taylor was. I could see Kanye. Oh, hold up. Taylor just won. Oh, hold the hell on. Walks
and then he had the nerve to make a song about it.
Because and then
but famous.
No, you can't do that because Kim also backed that song and then put Taylor's ass on blast because Taylor was speaking bullshit.
But before we jump into that part,
Kim was
how
like,
far can I go on this? Because I got an opinion. How far can I go on this?
How far can you go on this?
Because I got an opinion.
I guess.
Okay.
He did. So what he did, I know it was rude, but I mean.
Was it?
Hold on.
Back in the day, that shit wasn't rude.
Much worse has happened to us.
You will not
So
be married.
a microphone getting snatched out of a girl's hand on stage
It's not as
It's not
irrelevant.
is not that serious.
Because back in the day, the Baldwins will not be marrying Lord Dingsworth, my Jonathan. No, I am from a different stature, darling. They would call that. If you have objections, speak now or forever hold your peace. Kanye spoke now or forever hold your. Well, she was still getting the award, but or forever hold your feelings.
And Taylor had no business winning that award.
We know, but
I mean,
no,
the Grammy.
I agree with
Grammy.
you. She had no business winning the award. I just think how he went about it wasn't the correct way, because we already, as Black people, are being looked at as like too erotic, too chaotic. We're doing all this like extra stuff. I just think there was a time and a place, and he shouldn't have done that, especially drunk off his ass in front of like the whole America.
That's
I think
like,
he should have handled it a little bit better, but in Kanye fashion, it makes sense to do that. And like Beyonce might have been flattered, but if I was Beyonce, I also would have been embarrassed because you're making an ass out of yourself on
and
my
Black
behalf.
people.
Yes.
Celebrities.
And one thing I think of is like when Will Smith smacked Chris Rock. That's another way of showing that Black people are chaotic, erratical, you know, just, and mind you, the setting, like you said, there's a time and a place. The setting is a setting of mostly white people, and then to have Black people finally get involved in that, and then you do something like that, it makes them second guess having that inclusivity.
It's like we move 10 steps forward, but 1,000 steps back every single time a Black person does something to embarrass the community.
Publicly.
It's just also happy on
setting.
the fact of, and we want to talk inclusivity, the fact we even have to dictate and dip and dive and maneuver on how we need to act when we know damn well we have Brittany and Jessica always fighting at the parties. So very heavy on the fact of like, why do we need, I know. Why do we need to sit here and dip into, oh, well, we need to carry ourselves. They've been acting a hot ookie pookie mess even before we got up on that stage. And if we want to talk about inclusivity, we should be able to go up on that stage and act ookie pookie mess, because very much Kanye is a music artist. No one, absolutely no one said that he is a influencer.
No, I don't think he's an influencer.
You can go up on the stage and act however you act, but very heavy on the fact of, I agree with what you're saying is, oh, time and place, but very heavy on the fact of also white people don't need a time and place.
No,
I know, but we've worked so hard to get the respect that we have now. We need to work extra harder to keep it. And when we do shit like that, it makes white people or people in general hard to keep that respect for us that we've worked so hard to build. So it's like, yes, we should be able to act how we want to act, but because we've worked so hard towards a certain reputation, if we act out, we are under speculation. If we act out, like, we will crumble again. And we're right back.
If we act out, we might be killed.
Exactly. Like, we might fall back into old times, and that can't happen.
Will Smith almost not got his award because of it, so consequences are different.
I 100% feel like that. I hate that and I know, like, the world looks at us in a certain way. Like, it doesn't even, like, it doesn't matter. They'll still look at us.
At the end of the day.
No matter how we act, even if we act super proper, they'll say that we're an uppity blah, blah, blah. They'll say that we're So no matter how we act, we're still going to be seen as a certain way. I agree with what you guys are saying, that like we've worked so hard to get to the place that we're at. However, it's like, to a real racist, they don't give a fuck about that shit. Am I allowed to curse?
Yeah, can I curse? Go ahead. Do whatever you want.
Okay, they don't give a fuck about that shit. If you got any of this on your skin, they don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck how that acts. That's still
they have their mind already made up.
I we can even be like, even say if we're, I know I don't want to drag off, but like if we're at the workplace and we speak up for ourselves, oh, he's acting like I just told you to
Give me
empty
a
the mop,
motherfucking raise.
empty the mop bucket. I just told you to give me a raise. Like, so no matter what we do or how we act, there's still, so I'm playing devil's advocate in a way, and personally how I feel. Like, obviously be an upstanding citizen and all that stuff, but like they're still gonna look at us as we're less than, because it's taught in the school systems. That's a different video. It's taught throughout life, like lock your doors when you're driving past this person, or it's all taught.
Can I
like,
build that though, and very much say though, Kanye does, I agree with, to piggyback up off of them, because we're already seen, and Kanye's so woke and so smart that he already knows how he's seen, for him to still continue to do that.
I can tell you why. It's a different diaspora when you're rich. Once you get to social class, once you get to a certain amount of wealth, they don't give a fuck what the color of your skin is. Oh, you got money? Will you invest? You able to throw me that 250,000? They don't care about that.
Does that take? But it does though, because he still has money, but he's still crazy. So does him acting a how take away from the points he's trying to make, regardless of his social
takes away
stature.
from the media trying to smutinize him, but it doesn't doing. Yeah, but I mean, how many white men are sitting here
and they still collecting a good point.
I like to be politically correct. How many Caucasian men sit here doing a bunch of coke, fucking a bunch of house whores?
But like she said, that's different.
Yeah, we don't have a choice to.
So him still moving the same way as the white man,
it's not going to work.
And facing extra repercussion because he's not white. Is he making a point?
It's definitely making a point, as in that people, obviously, as we know, are still judging a person by the color of their skin before their actions.
I think this also ties back to how I think this is a big social experiment, but I also think he is trying to make other Black people or people of our community more understanding of what's going on, even in his industry. Because I had seen a video on YouTube, I don't remember where it came from, but he was, you know how he made that post about like Jewish people,
right?
And like that, I don't think it was him being like anti-Semitic. I think it was, he explained it. He showed like a spreadsheet and was like, all the people in red are Jewish and they're the higher ups of like all the major industries. He's not saying it because I don't remember what he said, but I think he was like, oh, I'm coming after you Jews or something like that. Something like that. I don't think he meant Jewish people. I think he meant those higher up execs because they're the ones running the show. He says some shit like that, he gets cut off from all the shoe deals, all his money. You say some shit like that, you get cut off. And it's not even of the fact that he said it. It was of the fact that he exposed that the Jewish community is really in the higher ups.
He has an audience.
Keep it on the hush.
He has an audience, so whatever he says is going to reach to higher volumes. But also heavy on the fact of like Kanye West, low key, if we want to tie this back into men versus mental health, don't you think he tried to come home and say this shit to his already in the industry doesn't give a fuck wife? And he was bigger than Kim. He was more important than Kim. Kanye made Kim relevant. And now we have over here Kim over here smearing his name. And because Kim over here has more of a different type of fan base, they'll go for the poor little mommy over here who had a plan in the first place, low key and high key.
What are we talking about, poor?
So I say poor as in, oh, like the U.S. audience sympathizes with this bitch, and I don't know why, but they do, and it's too late, but they do.
Because
I know why. It was very rhetorical.
Oh.
That was very Kanye.
You gotta say it for the viewers.
I can. I'm Kanye.
Wait, sorry. What did you want to say?
Oh, I was just gonna say, well, I also said this in like another podcast about it's not how you say it, it's what you say. And even though Kanye can totally be 1,000% correct, but the way he delivers it, he basically says, like, I'm gonna just give an example. I hate all Jews, period. That's it. Doesn't give no explanation on it. You need to go explanation on it, because not everybody's gonna get it how you are thinking in your mind. Like, let us open up and see your mind, because you just saying, I hate Jews, and leaving it at that, of course you're going to get all this backlash. But if you actually went through before the backlash started and saying, this is how I feel, this is what I mean by this, A, B, and C, then we would actually like be on board with you. But nobody can get behind you if you're just spewing shit off, but not giving us an explanation of why you feel this way or facts behind why you feel this way, because now we think you're just talking out of your ass.
Yeah, but when he finally got to explain it and explain that, you know, that list and that most of the execs are Jewish, then that kind of made us think like, oh, maybe he wasn't crazy. Like, maybe this was actually what he meant, but it was also the way he delivered it. Like, it's not what you say, it's how you say it, but it's not how you say it, it's what you say. So it goes a little bit hand in hand.
And very heavy on, I was telling Elijah about how we were talking about, before he jumped on, how we were talking about, as a whole, we understand and can grasp at what Kanye says when he throws those straws, but very much we're tired of finding that needle in that damn haystack of what we were trying to say. And then he said, oh, well, he said the anti-Semitism stuff during Drink Champs and that Wings episode or whatever the hell he was on.
It was on Drink Champs.
It was on Drink Champs. And then I was like, yeah. So then I was feeding him a little information before he yeah.
No, well, so in my thing, like, I understand why, hold on, because I don't want to get fucking canceled or drug. I can see why he would say that he dislikes Jews in the format of that there's a difference between being a Jew and being Jewish. Jewish comes from Africa. So our people were the main holders of that religion.
As we were for everything.
Thank you. So the fact that it's so now whitewashed, so and now that they were able to come to the Americas and prosper and profit off of the ability to have, like, you know, white privilege.
Most of our big business owners, shout out to shout out to everyone listening. He's saying this because most of our big business owners in Hollywood are Jewish.
They're Jewish. The
so
lawyers,
continue.
the highest lawyers are Jewish. The people that have money and record labels are Jewish. The people, I even worked for a summer youth program, and the people that owned it were Jewish people. The Jewish people, the European Jewish people, have the biggest disgusting bag in the world.
Let's shrink it down a little more. It's Jewish men. Because this is still men's versus men. This is Jewish men.
Oh, yeah, because we're talking about
Jewish men.
So, like, it's like, so I can understand where he's coming from of saying that, like, he dislikes them because, like,
we were here first, but then we have people coming in able to prosper in a country that we built off of the lands of our backs and our labor. But he can't go home to Kim and say that type of shit. She don't get it.
And that's the problem that I said before.
Well, I also saw a post or something, or like a YouTube video where it was like kind of like a conspiracy, but I also believe it's some truth. All of the Kardashians that have kids and stuff, except for Kourtney, that have mixed kids or whatever, they basically used Black people and profited off of Black people and got babies off of them, and now they divorced them and don't need them anymore because they already got what they wanted, which was a Black kid.
Speak on it, Queen.
Yes.
Vulture, melanated sucking ass, allegedly.
Allegedly. Is he allegedly for me?
Right.
How do y'all feel about Kim Kardashian as melanated queens?
Oh, that's not my question, but that's your question. Answer that, and then I have another question about the
Wait.
kids.
Repeat that.
As melanated queens, how do y'all feel about Kanye and how do y'all feel about Kim? And versus also how, like, if Kanye came home and he said all of this stuff, would you receive it better being a melanated queen? Because Kim is also, she is not white, she's Albanian, but she identifies as a white girl.
She's European.
Yes.
Albania is right next to Europe. She's European.
So if Kanye was coming home to me saying this stuff, I would honestly 110% get it, because I've walked through the shoes pretty much of him, not as a Black male, but as a Black woman. So we pretty much are walking in the same path, not the same direction a little bit, but we're in it together. But if I was like a Caucasian getting fed this information
in Hollywood,
I probably would not understand or maybe agree with him because of what you're raised around, and basically the brand that Chris also built for them. Their brand is so big that I watched one of the earlier seasons of Kardashians, and Chris had a conversation with Khloe saying that she's messing up the image just because she was a little overweight and she wasn't even big.
I think for me, if I was, if I was Kim, or like as a Black woman, if he was to come home to me and say this shit to me, I honestly think I would be confused at first. I'd be like, okay, wait, what the fuck? I would be like, what the fuck? But then I'd be like, wait, babe, elaborate on what you're trying to tell me, because I can handle that type of information. I would need you to elaborate, and then I could pick up the pieces and put it all together and understand what the fuck it is that they're trying to say. But as a white person, I feel like white people, they don't really want to process the mind of a Black man or a Black woman. So it would probably just go right over my head if I was white. Or, maybe I wouldn't even try to understand it. I'd be like, okay, you do you. Which is what I think Kim did, and that's ultimately why things ended.
I just wanted to say this really quick because it ties into Kanye and his mental health, very heavy on even on Kanye. I also we need to, for Kanye, even in my job, we're trying to think medical first, and self-care and your brain and your mind and your body is very much a body parts. It's necessary for function, and he would probably genuinely come home, and this also was Kim Kardashian. This is also a person, when he comes home and has a hard day, she's going to want to put it on camera.
Mm-hmm.
They were also filming a show. So heavy on, he wants to come home and he wants a genuine person, he wants a genuine human, and just like how you also wanted to say earlier, he lost his mother.
Mm-hmm.
Who was his one and only best friend, and didn't get to fully grieve with that either, because he's a celebrity under scrutiny, under cameras, under paparazzi.
Under white women.
Exactly. The white woman.
Can we have a part 3?
No.
No, we gotta wrap it up.
One thing I can say about Kim Kardashian, though, that I, for one, just can't be mad at, because she did wonders with it. She literally flipped it and turned it and made a bag out of it.
She was taught to do so.
She finessed the system for that shit.
Yeah.
She finessed the system.
Her mom, Chris, literally made a bag out of just her being a sex tape and making a brand out of just her family.
And that takes skill.
Do you think, actually, this brings me, just a quick question, just want to hear a quick response. Do you think Chris exploited her children, even though they were grown?
Yes. Before they were grown.
As you should. She had these kids.
As you should.
Had them with 2 different baby daddies, and it worked out in her favor for getting that TV show and being able to, if my daughters aren't beautiful, I'll make them beautiful. This is how we can get the media. There's always been, shit in America with, freaking African Americans and freaking fucking Caucasian people. So you guys mash with this, and then boom, we have a television show, and we'll use your kids in the future.
They're set for generations, and you know that.
Yep.
Yeah.
But even the grandkids, they don't have to do nothing. Kim and all
North
that.
is probably going to be a mini Kanye. Like she already looks like him, but the things that she posts and some of the things that like even her as a kid says, I definitely think she is going to take Kanye's spot very well and transition.
It doesn't deal with
I think
Kim
that she's a
Kardashian's
good
bullshit.
blend.
She don't deal with Kim's BS. She knows.
I think
Mhm.
she's a good blend of the both of them because I mean I've seen her. She's with the makeup, the recording, the passion for, posting
Fashion.
and fashion. But that
She's
also comes
taking
from
down
her dad.
Mama. She's
That
taking down
fashion
Mama.
aspect?
Mama's gonna be held real accountable real soon, and I can't wait.
Our biggest thing is for Kim not to WW.
That's Kanye's
children.
daughter. That's Kanye's daughter. Kim, Mama allegedly. You better. You better. I'm sorry you made that tape, Mama, because North's coming for that ass allegedly.
Oh.
I'm weak. And on that note,
all right, we are gonna wrap it up here today. Thank you guys for sticking around and hearing the other part to our part 2 to the part 2.
part 3 to the part 2 of the part 2 of the part 1.
Yes.
Some shit like that.
So,
absolutely not.
we definitely will have to have them back on again because this was a lot of fun and we have a lot of shit to say. We already talked about many topics that we can come back together and do it again.
There's a lot of for another days.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
All right, guys.
I'm Zaria.
And I'm Maika.
And this is Calming the Chaos and
Just Tea Podcast with Elijah Royale.
Elijah Royale.
Everybody ready? Collaboration.
Available
all
on
right.
all.
Thank you guys for joining, and we'll see you next time.
You know you can't control me, baby. You
Bye.
need a real one in your life. The bitches
Wear a
ain't gonna
mask.
give it to you, right?
Yes.
I'd rather be your B.I.